Hey, what's up, everyone? I just wanted to talk about a dream that I had several nights ago. By the way, sorry if I sound stopped up. My nose is very stopped up right now again, and my allergies have been driving me crazy. But I had a dream a couple of nights ago. Actually, it was a few nights ago where there was a blackout, and I dreamed that they were telling everyone to remain as calm as possible. We happened to. I listened to it on I guess it was the MP3 player radio that one of my old players I had plugged up to a portable charger. Hold on, that's Instagram and YouTube. Sorry, I had some notifications that popped up and I had to turn the notification sound off. But I had this dream. It was a couple of nights ago and it was so real. It was a few nights ago and so vivid, where just realized that I didn't have the microphone plugged in. I didn't have the mini mic plugged in. By the way, this is a Bytech mini mic that I'm using for $5. If any of you would like to check that type of microphone out, I'll look it up and try to put the link below, because they are really awesome microphones and I would highly recommend them. I would highly recommend the Bytech microphone to anyone. It's a really a cheap and very affordable way to have a high quality sounding microphone. But back to this topic. I mean, I'm really astounded by the quality. But back to this. Hopefully, let me know it sounds well. My dream was where we were sitting in the house, and they were rounding people up. They were telling people to go to a certain place because it had started in several different areas. I didn't know. We were trying to figure out whether had various electric companies been hacked, or had some kind of natural disaster occurred. Was it a blast from the sun? Was it a storm? Or was it an earthquake? What major issue, what major situation took place to cause these massive power outages? Electrical outages. So we were trying to figure this out at the same time as being led to go somewhere as safely as possible, because all traffic lights were out, the red lights were out, the communications were down, so the cell towers wouldn't work. Only walkie-talkies and basic radio communications were working because something had knocked down everything. Now, I'm assuming that if the radio communications were out, like if the and they were staticky, but only the major powerful radio signals worked. So I'm assuming that in the dream, which dreams aren't always 100% logical, obviously, but I'm assuming that since there was no cell phone signal around anywhere, I would assume that would mean some kind of maybe it was a sunblast or some kind of a cyber attack or some sort of hacking situation in the dream. What I was trying to figure out was, did North Korea or someone or Russia pull some of their technological capabilities where they can wipe out communications, just a massive signal block, and knock out all radio frequencies? But if that were the case, you would think that even close near field wouldn't work, even walkie-talkie and radio wouldn't work, but maybe powerful government signals would. I don't know. I know a few days ago there was an emergency broadcast that came across the TV as a test, and it was super loud. I had never heard one like that, and it had blocked out everything on the TV. And that was actually days after I'd had the dream. But when we were being led to some safe place, as they told us, it kind of reminds me of sort of a FEMA camp situation, really. Maybe it was a false flag, maybe it was something for control. You never can tell. I mean, I don't do fear-mongering and pushing fear and all that, but fear, you know what, I don't do that. But I'm just sharing my dream. And maybe it's something that's realistic. That's something that is sort of telling me something like a warning. But it had started through somewhere in Tennessee. Something had happened, and then I don't know if it started here, but that's where we were informed about it because that's where we live. So it spread, and it started spreading through various electrical companies, and they said that the power outages were spreading, and it was spreading through Tennessee, going up toward Missouri, and down through Mississippi, and various states, including Indiana, all surrounding. They said it was going to spread very soon throughout the United States and throughout this world, various places. And they were telling us to get to this certain place. Sort of rounding us up, I suppose. And that was the dream that I had. There was no electricity. All I could remember feeling is there was no electricity, there was no lights, there were no lights, there was no communication, it was a freaky feeling having no air conditioning, no heating, nothing. We had no way of any of that, anything that we take for granted now. Obviously no TV, no radio, no communications, no television, no, obviously said TV already, but no internet, networks, no lights, no way to, no human-made heating or cooling, no refrigerators, freezers, stove, nothing. You have nothing. Obviously, when you think about all this, no microwave, there's no way to heat your food, everything is controlled. From water flow to electricity is all controlled in every business through the internet and electricity. Through networks, and all of it was down. So all I had was my portable chargers for the charging pad to wirelessly charge the phone. That's all I would have had. Just my portable chargers and the charger to the phone. That's it. And in case communication came back. But they were telling us in the dream that outages were spreading, and that we were to get to a designated place. And that's all I remembered. And I was just looking around like, what are we going to do? We have nothing. We have no electricity. Because they've got us all dependent on all of this that there's no way to live without it now. And I remembered we were taken to this area, and they were bringing huge backup tanks. They said, don't tell anyone about this. Don't tell anyone about this. That's what they were telling us. Not a word about this. Because this is one of few places stationed. And they were claiming to not tell anyone about it. And they were putting people in this area and not to leave once you got there. They were huge tanks on the back of trucks, of these trailers on trucks. And there were these huge... They sort of looked... They were like this, just huge tanks, about that shape. Huge, like that, huge. But they were just about like that, but in the truck, the trailer that would carry it's very small in comparison to it. And each of them were brought in on these military trucks and trailers. And they were brought in for oxygen and backup electricity. They had these huge boxes, and they said these are one of the few places that have been designed for backup electricity for alternative means, for emergency backup and emergency use. And that's where we were being taken for the emergency situation. And I remember last seeing those huge tanks and huge backup energy power supplies last. And as for what happened after that, I don't know. I woke up. If I remember any more of the dream, then I'll let you know. But yeah. So that's the cat. She's like, pay attention to me. Anyway, back to the dream. Yeah, back to the topic at hand. That's the dream that I had. I had a dream that electricity was gone. And that we were being rounded up to this place. That they had a very limited supply there of backup electricity and oxygen and other things. Maybe the oxygen was for people who had to have oxygen. I don't know. But yeah. All I know is that's the dream that I had, so I needed to share it. Peace, much love. My PayPal and Patreon links are below. Feel free to follow me on Patreon and support my channel if you enjoy my content. Feel free to donate to PayPal. That would help out. Also, my email for this channel is below. And thank you all for everything. Subscribe, like, and share, and all of that good stuff. Peace. I've got more to share soon. Bye. I hope the microphone did well. It usually does. Peace.